You have to realize who you are and what you can do. And see, me, I know there's nothing else I can do. So I purposely burnt all my bridges leaving Detroit.
Do you think most people go home because of the rejection, or they have very strong pulls from friends and family, and it's comfort, it's safe, they miss them, and it's not always that way here? Especially if you're working a little survival job in the gig industry, it's not that.
It's all of that. It's not just the fact that you can't do your acting or whatever. It's all of those factors. It's all of that. I mean, that's why I say this is a calling. To me, this is a calling to be this. See, when it's a calling, there's nothing that can take you away from it. I mean, you get sick or whatever. Like my mother fell and hurt herself. Now, if I had to go, and I went home for a couple of weeks to tend to my mother, if I had to go home to take care of my mother, I would do that. Because see, family comes first. If I had to say, okay, I'm gonna have to go home for a while, I would do that. See, so it's not like, no. If it's an emergency situation, that always, to me, takes precedence over this. Because I couldn't be happy or really concentrate knowing that my mama or somebody needs me and they're helpless. I couldn't, you can't function. So, I mean, I would do that. But if it's about the fact that, the pool, like I dated a girl that was here from Chicago, and we went to see a movie at the Sherman Oaks Galleria. And when we left the movie, she got a call from her mother, and they were having a cookout in the backyard or something. So this was we went to see her like a early matinee, around 12 or something like that. So after the movie was over, it was around 2 o'clock or whatever. Back in Chicago, it was 4 o'clock, and it was on I think it was Saturday or something. And her mother called and said, "Oh, your cousin such and such is here. Oh, we got barbecue, we got potato salad, we got all of this stuff. Oh, everybody asking about you." And we were walking, we walk into the car. You've been in the Galleria, right? Mm-hmm. So we were walking to the car underground, and she stopped dead in her tracks and started talking, and then all of a sudden, she said, "Okay, I'll call you back, Ma. I'll call you back." She hung up on the phone and broke down, started crying. So naturally, people walking past said, "What did you do to her?" I said, "I done nothing." What? And people looking at me like, "Yeah, did you hit her? Did you?" I'm like, "No, I'm just standing here." She started crying and said, "I want to go home." And we got in the car, and she cried and cried. We didn't even take off. We just sat there in the car, and she said, "What should I do?" I said, "You should go home." She said, "Really?" I said, "You should go home." I said, you need to go home because you feeling that. She said, "But I said, "Don't worry about me or your agents and all these people. You got to do what's best for you. If it means being in this business, be in this business. If it means going home, go home." She went home, married her old sweetheart, had a kid, beautiful little girl, and he ran off and left her. But that's another story.
Oh, man.
That's life, and we talk all the time, When she says, "Oh, yeah, I said, "Well, now, is he taking care of his responsibility? Is he giving you," they got divorced. I say, "Are you getting your alimony?" And she said, "Oh, yeah, oh." I said, "Oh, well, then, hey, hey, okay." But it's like you have to realize who you are and what you can do. And see, me, I know there's nothing else I can do. So I purposely burnt all my bridges leaving Detroit, because the last real job I had in Detroit, while I was still studying my stuff, I quit on them, and actually they had to terminate me because I went to Chicago and wouldn't come back. I took a leave of absence. I was a certified social worker for the state of Michigan. Oh, wow. I didn't go back. So my boss I had to come back, and I went to the job, and she's crying while she's writing the termination papers. All the people in there said, and I'm hugging them, And I'm like, it's gonna be all right. I'm the one that got fired. But they were like, I said, that's okay. They said, I was hugging and consoling them and they had to fire me. And they didn't want to. I said, no. They said, you could have taken a long-term leave. I said, no. I said, I needed to burn this bridge. I can't go back over this bridge. There's alligators in that moat down there, and if I try to cut through the water, they're going to chew me up. I can't go over this bridge. I burnt that bridge down. See, I had to burn them down because I said, this is what I have to do. This is what I have to do. And people in this industry, as you know, we driven. Now, I don't put everything into this. I mean, when I get home, I put everything into this when I'm working, auditioning or whatever and all that. When I get home, I say, okay, I'm putting that aside. I've learned that over the years. Okay, I got to put that to the side. So I watch football, basketball. I do all kind of other stuff other than the business. You know, I don't get high, so I can't do like a lot of my friends that smoke weed. Oh, yeah, I don't do that anymore. So I have to just do other stuff, but you have to get away from it sometimes, you know. And you have to just do that. But like we were saying, there's always going to be a pull of some type. There's always going to be a pull. And I mean, even when I got into business, I had so many people calling me crazy when I first got in it because they didn't understand what I was doing because they said, oh, well, he's a flake anyway. I had a girl that, I knew. I was at a party. And she found out I was aspiring for this early. And she had gone out and went to New York with the Alvin Ailey Dance Company, and whatnot. And she didn't make it. So I was at a party and I'm sitting at a table with her and her boyfriend, And she says, you gonna try to do what? She said, oh, you'll never make it because I couldn't make it. So if I couldn't make it, I know you can't. And I was like sitting there like, okay. And I had people doing me like that. Then I would meet women, I would try to date them or whatever. And they would say, oh, well, what do you do for a living? I said, well, I'm an actor. They said, oh, you are? Well, what have I seen you in? Or what have you done? And then if I'm saying, well, I really haven't done much, then now, it's like, well, he's a loser. They looked at me and I had that L on my forehead, for them, which is the loser, and I actually had women whispering, oh, he's a bum, he's a loser. I mean, I had all kind of stuff. I'm like, okay, all right. And as the years went on and I started doing stuff, I would get few and far questions like that. Now I don't get that anymore. And if I ever get any of those kind of questions, somebody say, well, what have you done or what can I see you in? I can give them a list. I say, I was a recurring character on Parks and Rec. I was a police chief. I got a commercial right now running for Liberty Mutual that's running every 2 seconds. I can't go anywhere without people not recognizing me, which is, believe me, the airport, everybody, Liberty Mutual, got that like crazy. I'm like, okay. So what I say, and I get, like I say, very few questions like that because it's been 30 years. 30 years. And I used to have people say, well, why don't you use your degree? You went to college. And I'll say, well, I went to school for 17 years. You started, 5, I guess? I said, and I went all until I was like 21, 22. I was a year behind because I played sports and I had to drop classes because I was always traveling, So I was like a 5-year college graduate and not a 4-year, So that's my scarlet letter, like, he came out in 5 instead of 4. Oh, but it's like 17 years of school. I said, okay, I went through that life for 17 years. I've been doing this 30. So they said, oh, I said, yeah. It's like, I'm out of that stuff. But no, I it's like, now I don't have that problem with women. The problem I got now is I got women trying to take my money. Okay, that's a whole nother that's another subject altogether, trying to get this money because they know I got some money. See, so now somebody calling me here.
Oh, okay.
And just keep the camera rolling because I'm going to see who this is. I knew it was her.